Nobody believes in you. You've lost again and again and again. The lights are cut off, but you're still looking at your dream, reviewing it every day and say to yourself, it's not over until I win.
Sing now, sing for the year, sing for the left, I'm singing for the fear.
They get the Baron, and now Atlas, this game, right back the other foot. T1 taking towers with the Baron push.
Yep, and it's going to be even more of a swing. As you can see here, inner turret goes down. That's even more money. And now 3,000 gold lead back in the favor of T1, as now they're looking for even more. The Pulverize only connects onto one. Supreme Display of Talent goes absolutely everywhere, but it doesn't do anything. They're able to take down the turret, and T1, they're just going to move their way back out. They're just stealing all their stuff, Kobe, and they're watching. And there it is, the public execution. Oh, yeah. Mako just pops like a balloon. The inhibitor goes down. It's a fair bit of AoE as Rookie is still tearing them up alongside Gala. And the Shy gets into the backline with that Void Rush, but now he's in an uncomfortable position. Decent knockup comes through as Faker's trying to hold them at bay to give enough time to Guma to take down the Shy. And IG back to walking backwards once again, and Faker flashes forward, finds Gala, blows him up, and this should be the end of the game. T1, after losing for the majority of it, just come out on top, and they're going to look to put themselves 1-0 in this best of 5. Unless Rookie can do something miraculous underneath this turret, but he's not going to be able to. The seismic shove, all too set up here for Faker to take him down.
What a way to open up Worlds 2025, Atlas. T1 here looking to finish the job in game 1.
Well, Mako looking to try and fight back here, but once again, just into the tennis racket of Faker, as Way not going to get thrown back this time, but the rocks will be enough. A double kill for Faker. The GOAT sitting at 4-1-5 at the end of game 1, and it is an ace before the Nexus is taken down. T1 will lead the series 1-0. Going over to Gala, who's starting to look like a homewares shop with the amount that he's taken from this top side, as there's the all-out onto Mako, who's just dead. Okay, Doran says, whatever you can do, I can do better.
That's gonna sting. Okay, Way here with the 2 items. Definitely painful.
Doran. He's going to look for the flank angle. There's a flash Cataclysm to come on through. Finally, the knockup does come in now for Owner, who goes down to half health. Carrier trying to get himself out of there, and he will! Gumayushi gets a decent amount of damage, but leaves himself exposed and just blows up Way, who gets on top of him, but that's not where he wants to be. Great knock up there onto the Shy, as Doran gets on in there. He's looking for Gala, as the Shockwave does not do enough, but he does take down Carrier. Fake is doing work, though, and Mako is running for the hills. Doran cuts apart this Scion, and T1, it's a difficult comp to make work, but the world champ's looking pretty good with it.
The 3-tiered engage from T1. They will take them down. They will cut IG to pieces.
Much damage, though. Still, Circle not going to be saving the Xin Zhao, and that is shut down money over to Rookie.
That Hex technology is dangerous, Atlas.
It certainly
They warned
is.
us against this in Arcane.
We learnt about it from Arcane. It's now Rookie. Oh no, you should have learnt about it as well. Doran going to be able to finish him off. He's now in an awkward position, but they don't have to deal with the Way, who's such a problem. Faker finds the angle onto the Rumble, and somehow their most fed member dying turned into an inhibitor turret? Back in again, so Gala kind of left out to dry. Now the Otacon has been started by IG. This has been a point of contention for this team. We'll see whether they can make it work this time around here in game 4. Man, this is feeling like they're throwing the gauntlet as now the paranoia comes down. Doran finds a huge knock-up, and the AoE is massive. The wild growth absurd by T1, and their team fighting is just too good, ladies and gentlemen. Gala keeping himself alive, but there are too many people here. Rookie finds the clone of all things, but the Otacon will stay up. And T1 did lose
Rookie.
2 in the process. Can Rookie do it? Can he be the hero? But he cannot.
Leave, because again, like we saw in the LCP finals, this guy on Kiana's not too bad. As Honky's found out in rotation, he'll get phase rush, he'll get out of there, but Doran finds his prey, jumps in, but maybe too deep from him. Honky flashes over. It's matched by Doran, but Junja looking for the trade kill. Will find his mark over the wall as well, and Doran just trying to run on out. A tunnel used, but Junja again can Terra Shape, but there's another tunnel. There's always another tunnel.
Owner, though, very low. The Dragon secured, and now the threat on the bot lane tower.
They have the damage, Betty. Maybe enough to threaten Doran to get out of there. Redemption's going to come on down, but wait for Supreme Slave Talent misses, and Doran solo kills CFO's jungler got ambitious, and now the damage definitely ain't there as Exhaust also used. Herald's still there, Pop Blossom with the flash. Doggo caught out, instant cleanse away. He's running for his life. He'll catch the axe, he'll get movement speed, but he needs a bit more. A double, that makes it trouble.
Again, down to half HP already. Owner over the wall. River has been winning the smite fights here so far in this game. 100 Thieves looking to peel away now as Ayla charges in for the headbutt pull, but it's not going to connect. Ayla now going to be the target here with the redemption coming down, but Carry is first to die. River! Thieves already have the first kill. River's going to the back line. He wants Faker and Guma. T1's killed River, but what about the rest of the fight? Quinn into the back. Faker staying alive, trying to kite him out. Doku with a little bit more damage, but he's down. 100 Thieves overstep, and T1 have been the best team in the world so many years for exactly this reason.
100 Thieves thought they had their moment, and T1 just turned it around on them. Look at this engage from them. They're able to go in, the flash from Guma to avoid the combo from Ayla, but then the re-engage from River. It's looking so good for them as T1 goes into the blender. They knock down Guma, and you're thinking, this is the time. This is where they're gonna win. But Owner comes back up with a GA, and look at Doran. Faker gets the stasis off at no HP, and Doran just crushes them.
FBI flashes into melee range of the Renekton. The flick gets all three, and
Boy might not know about Carrier, but have enough people here on the bottom side to make sure that Jojopyun is not pushing out alone.
They have the vision in the top side jungle to spot out Owner, and he hasn't shown on any of the wards. So I think that's what MKOI have spotted, going, hang on, where is this Kiana? She has to be on the bottom side, but Jojo
Finding out firsthand exactly where Carry is. Lockdown coming in. Q-Flash goes in forward for Doran. Pushback coming through on the Pathmaker. Pulls him out of the redemption. Knocks him down. Owner picks up the kill. Killing spree for the MKOI. Owner locked up for a brief moment on the hunt used. MKOI retreating back to the river, but unbreakable down for Alvaro already. Oh yeah, isolated. 5 members grouped for MKOI.
Super Minions in the base as MKOI start the Elder. They need to find this fight now and quickly.
TP there for Doran, he's immediately going to use it to go to the base. He wants to threaten the back door. MKOI don't have great tools to respond to this. T1 just need to keep the pressure on, and Doran will end the game. Owner with the knockup to keep things going. Carrier there as well. Rise with the Roam Orb. It's Faker and Guma alongside Doran to try to end it all. Mirror1 doing his best to hold the line. TP coming in for Jojopyun. They're not going to be able to cancel it. Mirror1, Jojopyun, they need to make this work. They don't have the angle. Guma with a perfect spell shield is still going to remain standing. T1 move on to the top 8 at Worlds 2025. MKOI are sent packing.
You know, anyone's legend have to defend the Baron. 4 versus 5.
T1 going after the big objective. Tarzan wants to step forward here, try to find a little bit of poke. Kyle and Hope now, a nice catch from Doran. Hope is already down. Tarzan has to retreat. Ishtal's impact through the wall. They can't slow him down, they can't lock him up. T1 back onto the Baron yet again. Owner, it's both supports down. Flandra, the extra man dead, means T1 win the fight.
Yeah, they melt the front line. Shanks is actually creeping around, but there's not much he can get. He's looking for an angle onto Guma.
If he can find Gumayushi, that's the angle. That's the only way to win it, and there he goes! Shanks with the hero play as Hope tries to escape from Doran, but the Bellows breath takes him down. Tarzan wants to get away from Owner, from Faker. He can't quite get there. He's feared up. Shanks nearly kills off Owner, but a beautiful spell shield keeps him alive. Shanks is trapped inside the gravity field, and Faker takes him down. Tarzan on the run. He's the only one left alive from the original fight. Kyle has finally respawned. Faker and Doran are going to continue the chase now. If they can get a delayed kill on this jungler, they can almost guarantee themselves either a soul or a Baron, and that's exactly what they're doing. Tarzan will not be allowed to dig through the wall. The Arcane Storm silences him as he tries. Inhibitor falls, and T1 are looking for the end of the game. The Elder's got 15 seconds left on it. T1 guiding the Baroned up minions toward the Nexus turrets. Solar Snare not hitting a target. Flandra and the rest of AL scrambling to try to defend. Nexus turret's down to about half HP. Owner takes some burst. Tarzan takes more. T1 looking for the engage. They found Flandra, but he gets away. Half HP on the front line of AL. T1 pushing forward. They've made their way on the Nexus. AL scrambles to defend. Doran can't do it. History is written by the victors. And yet again, T1 turns the page of the LPL. They will once again earn their place in the semifinals.
Sports and the LPL has played against them. They keep trying to take them down, but unable to do so. And now Top Esports forcing this Adakan. The TP has come out. They're going to start to slowly back away.
Yeah, they get the summoner spell, but that's all they're going to take for now. Kanavi's the only one continuing to tank the Otacon because they do not want the debuff
on everybody else on top esports. Doran making his way up through the river. 369 with a third in, Tofo strike primed. Top esports looking for something here. It's Doran jumped on immediately. However, he's into the death realm. He's going after Kanavi. He wants to take out the enemy jungler. Top esports, they're trying to get him away. But as soon as the death realm ends, Carrier's quickness begins. And top esports have already lost their jungler. They're about to lose their top laner. 369 wants to go all out, but Gumayusi and T1 are all in. Hong trying to escape as Cream's got some fancy acrobatics, but he's not getting any. Here's was waiting to see if Kanavi would just greedily jump over the wall and try to start the blue buff. Kanavi finds him there as now Doran coming in. Big collision on Jackie Love, and Gumayusi picks up the free payday.
No flash on the Draven means that T1 can simply run him down.
Find their footing, and now Jackie Love up in topside, threatening a Baron, but I think T1 happy to take that fight if it comes to us.
T1 pushing their way into the top side river. Dagda, you mentioned early that lifetime record of T1 against the LPL at Worlds. Jackie Love forced to flash over the wall. Doran flashing after. Here comes the Comet Spear ready to fly over the top of the decimating smash, but Redemption keeps Jackie alive. Maybe the kill from Kanavi, but no. At least Faker should die here through the bailout, so Cream's gonna get the credit on that one. But T1 aren't done. Cream goes between worlds. 369 with a two-man knockup. Top esports, they found Gumayusi, but they have to trade Cream. Jackie's still alive for a little bit more damage as Keria, Owner, and Doran want some more. Hong gets almost caught by the hostile takeover, but it's 369 focused instead. T1, their carries might be down, but they still find another kill. Doran goes on a rampage, and the three remaining men on T1 knock down the tier 2 for a successful multi-lane push. So T1's just gonna keep going straight for the Nexus. Here comes the Grand Starfall, and Jackie's already down. Hong goes with them. The focus fire into 369 as Cream and Kanavi scramble to stay alive, but nobody on top esports has anything to stop T1. It's only the mid laner left. They'll get the final kill. And yet again, the highest peaks of the LPL are merely stepping stones for the unkillable Demon King. Faker and T1 have set the stage for the World Finals Telecom War.
No flash for Doctum. No flash for Cuz. KT luckily able to reset the objective, but I don't think they're gonna get a chance to leave quite yet. T1 know they have an advantage in the fight if it comes down to the 5v5. Flash forward, ulti into the back, immediately things get kicked off, but Peter does his best to heroically disengage. It is not enough to keep Doctum standing. Cuz taken out as well. Doran in the 3v1, completely and totally unfazed. Carrier there to stop any further follow-up. Faker taking down Perfect, and BDD is not enough to stop T1.
And it's the KRUG Lord that finds his mark. Doctum goes down, and T1 turn onto Otacon.
Doran, the addition to this T1 roster, annihilated him.
Hello.
Resetting, resistance is shredded by the Otacon. Carry a ward over the wall, spots out Cuz. T1 know it's a 50-50 now. 5 seconds on Doctum, but he doesn't have access to a TP to make it to the fight any faster. Perfect TP available. BDD finds the angle into Doran. Carry now backing up 3K on the objective. Getting lower. Steadfast presence gone. Faker on the backside. Cuz wants to try to make it out of this one, but now they're moving into advantage. Take out Guma. No, Guma living. Like to finish him. Looking for a bit more damage, but T1, they find the double for Carrier. They take the Thornbound Otacon, and Perfect. It is too little. It is too late.
Baker teleports in and he saves the team fight. He gets that shove.
Minute till the next Mountain Dragon. And now T1, it feels like they're in full control.
What a fight, what a scramble. BDD makes a heads-up play, flashing onto Doran to get the first kill of the fight. And then T1 are communicating the teleport arrival from Faker. Look at Owner running away so that Cuz can't find burst damage onto him. And once Faker comes in and gets a double shove.
And that shove ends the fight immediately. They were a member up. And Perfect, if he was alive just a little bit earlier, could have been the difference maker, but not in time. And T1 now with the biggest lead we've seen in this game so far. And this is just going to be gone if they don't make a play. It's going to be a big realm warp. But you're realm warping possibly straight into your doom, and they're not even going to get the chance.
Cuz taken out of the equation. 6K getting lower. KT start to flounder. They decide it's not worth it. They decide they don't want it. Instead, they're going to turn their sights to the Drake, spawning in 4 seconds. T1 already have secured the Baron on the back of a keeper's verdict from KRUG. Now they might just look to end it here. Flash forward. Perfect execution. Aptly named as Doran takes him down. KT now chasing out as well. BDD trying to well more back into the rest of the team. But KRUG once again there to interrupt. Doran unfazed by the magic damage of BDD. It's a double kill coming through. Perfect and Cuz, the last two left standing. But a TP into the base to bring back and seal the deal in game one. T1, what a performance.
And Perfect running for the hills. I don't think his survival is gonna matter as Doran and KRUG show a masterclass in this game one. The lane for both, I think, looked a little precarious, but those team fights, man, that's a smile on the face of T1's top laner.
Cuz still eating a bit of damage. The poke from T1, a bit tough to deal with. You can see the pierce that lands onto Doran, taking that chunk of health. Flash in, full committal to the fight. Pillar to isolate Owner, redemption to heal Faker right back up. That's almost every single cooldown burned. It's on BDD to try to turn it back, but it's a split fight. T1 coming from multiple sides, collapsing as Owner moves in on top of Perfect. Doran has been isolated in the death realm, but he'll manage to make it over. Flashback, absolutely jukes him. And now it's Perfect, caught in a 1v1 with Faker right as he comes out. He is stunned, but he won't be taken down. All of T1 in the pit. The spears stacked, smites available.
Faker's gonna teleport back. They're recalling Mordekaiser and the Anivia.
The fight just continues to go. 6K getting lower. Doran trying to get a bit of poke. Hots will take over connecting. They don't have a cleanse. Devour from Peter is good, but it might not matter. Cuz continuing to move in. BDD waiting over the wall. The ulti is there, but they don't need to face him yet. The turn on to Faker isn't enough. 3K. Cuz in the pit. At the end of the day, it does not matter because it is Doran to get the soul. KT might be able to get the fight, but there's too many members of T1 standing. Ocean Soul to T1 as everybody on KT falls.
And I am starting to hear some silver scrapes in my Telecom war.
Oh my God, T1 stand up, get the Ocean Soul, and they have made every person in this stadium stand up as well. Doran gets hit with the KRUG ultimate immediately. Peter trying to bail him out. They're both so low, they get pushed out. Then Doran blocking the Caitlyn ultimate, protecting Owner here as they try and kite back into the pit. Meanwhile, on the top side, BDD was running straight at them. Immediately gets deleted there by KRUG and Faker on the other side.
And it's Guma skirting alongside the fight. And the fact that Faker, even though BDD got his ultimate, hit him with the stun. So he didn't actually get to do the damage that he needed to, as the double fake out from Doran. And the Mastercard prize at the moment of the game, Ocean Soul secured for T1. Mostly when it comes to summoners for KT. And T1, call the T1 Baron. Gold leads there, Ocean Soul is theirs. And KT, we'll see if they can make something happen.
Owner and T1 have secured every single objective this game. Cuz moving in, but zoned away by the Storm from the side of the team. Berserk now onto Cuz, has to ulti. Owner using an ulti of his own just to try and disengage. Doran, meanwhile, in the mid lane, happy to just continue fighting. Perfect going into the back line, looking to get taken down by Faker. He's in the death realm, but Faker's happy with the 1v1. Just in time, he gets out, and Doran is there to seal the deal on the kill. KT desperate to get anything. They've already lost their top laner. The game rapidly slipping away.
They're trying their best to not let this game go to 5 as Doran still searching.
No flash for BDD, that crucial piece of CC and exhaust there. But Faker just waiting in the darkness. Guma stacking up the spears, the wall to zone KT away. Flash not there for Cuz either. BDD off on the side is going to use the ultimate. W in from Peter does absolutely nothing. T1, they see a vulnerable opponent. They know what they can do as they start to rip them to shreds. KT is not going to take a Baron. T1 reminding us why they are here, what they can do in a world final. Eager, knowing how important it is for them to stop the Soul from going down. 20 seconds, a TP into the mid lane. Maybe going to catch out Gumayushi here. But it's perfect. Again, this is the problem. No matter who TP's in, it's so effortless for T1 to just walk away.
Yeah, perfect. Guma is 2 levels up on the top laner.
Cuz caught out, isolated, immediate subjugate to try and stay standing, forced to flash back. BDD in the darkness! 3-man! But it's Doran to try to turn it right back. The ulti is decent. KRUG wants to turn it back with the Hots. He'll take over the gold deficit. It's just too massive. Even a miracle, even an incredible angle was not enough in the face of this T1 lineup. The triple, the quadra, T1 bringing us the silver scrapes.
Guma lives the engage, and T1's hopes live in the grand finals.
And the Telecom war has never been this insane. World's Finals, Game 5. Nine plays us. Oh, look at Owner. He's diverted his pathing. He's looking for top. That's a classic.
Perfect. Needs to back up. Level 3. Getting lower and lower. Last right's offering a bit of healing. The tactical sweep there from Doran to slow him down. Owner all but certain to make this one come through. First blood for T1. Doran's Camille takes it. Owner faker here. The TP's used. T1 making the fast play happen. KT caught reeling, too far behind on tempo. Doran might have fallen in the previous play, but he is still damn powerful. Doc Dom here. T1 pushing them back. It'll take a miracle for them to get this one out. Owner, Peter coming in for the lockup, but Owner manages to get the objective. The fight coming out. Fire rained over the wall by Gumayushi, and down goes Peter. BDD finally arrived. That's the ulti coming in the meantime. He needs a little bit more space. Doc Dom, BDD untouched, but the front line has fallen. BDD, CC'd, knocked into the sky, and right back into the grave. T1 get Otacon and ace KT.
A triple kill for Guma, and T1 do it! They take over!
But now with Baron spawning, relatively even setup, but again, it's the waves in favor of T1 that make this so hard. As immediately they're going to kick things off by going in on Cuz, taking away the Frost Armor passive. Lockdown from Keria is there. TP in from Doran as well. All T's going across the board. BDD caught off the side. A good flash to take him out, and Guma has to be careful, but he's so damn fast. Owner, the lock up BDD. He goes gold in an extra 2.5 seconds to consider what went wrong as T1 looks set to end it all.
They're gonna finish the job. It is Doran and Peter left alone in the mid lane, and T1 will ace them.
T1 earning their legacy again and again and again. There can be no doubting it. 4 players on the Rift today, making the impossible possible. Owner, Faker, Gumayushi, Keria, and now Doran as well are world champions.
And the disbelief on his face. A teammate that so many have praised over the long years. Domestically, he's always been able to show it. As T1 find the free-peat.
T1 world champions once again.
And they did it as the 4th seed again. They had to play in the play-ins, the newly created play-ins. Elimination right at the beginning of the tournament was faced.
Oh man, Doran lifting that trophy after all is said and done. As Doran is Owner rather is flexing. One-handed lift as the GOAT in the 2nd prime of his career. Does it again.
T1 seemingly making a science.